My name is TJ Faison. I live in West Palm Beach, Florida. Originally from Charleston, South Carolina. I heard about Joe Crump through a group of friends that I met through another real estate mentorship program that I had been working. And we formed a good relationship, and those friends at that event, which was April last year, we agreed that we all should go through Joe Crump's mentorship and attend. So it was the reference of a friend that had been hearing from Joe over many years, and that's what got me introduced to Joe. So the thing that was intriguing to me about Joe Crump to join the mentorship was the wealth of information and knowledge that he had about ways of finding opportunities to buy real estate and to help match prospective buyers with other sellers. And a way to do that with little to no money down was very interesting to me at the time. The timing of when I went to the mentorship and when I started was interesting because I work full time, so it's difficult for me to spend the time. So the timing was not good for me. However, even without the time, within a few weeks, I was able to find my first deal. My first deal, using the methods that Joe really taught me, I was actually doing something where I was looking at a property with an agent who had a listing on the market that I was interested in. It was a multifamily, it was large. That opportunity didn't work out. But I needed to go back to that property the next day with a contractor, and that agent couldn't really be there. So my local boots on the ground, actually the boots on the ground that I met at the Joe Crump event last year, had another agent that he knew, and when that agent came, as I said, that property didn't work out, but I had a conversation with that agent based on the things I learned from the Joe Crump 2-day boot camp, and I basically described for him that if he had identified any opportunities that were interesting, to call me and I would help him figure it out. So that little conversation was the seed. About a week later, he called me and he described for me what I thought was a perfect kind of scenario for what ended up being a wholesale deal. But it was kind of the techniques that I learned from Joe Crump's 2-day mentorship that I was able to essentially orchestrate a wholesale deal for myself. And I was able to make about 15 grand just from that conversation. And a week later, to get that. At the time, I didn't have my own buyer's list, which is something else Joe Crump talks about. So I knew someone that had a very large buyer's list. So I got it under contract, I want to say, one evening. I contacted the person with the buyer's list that evening. He put it on his email list the next morning, and by dinner time that same day, I had it under contract to sell. So I basically assigned my purchase agreement to a wholesale buyer, and then they closed within 24 days of that point. So it was very fast, and just by hearing some of the techniques Joe described, I was able to leverage it. I still don't have time because I work full time, as I mentioned, and I have a pretty important job for sales. But I do have boots on the ground here in this market, and I'm working with my boots on the ground to learn the auto marketer system and to help us kind of build that team and then run more of the business since I don't have the time. That would be nice. I have a personal vision. I kind of wear it on my shirt and logo. That when I do leave corporate America, I would love to be able to do that vision. And for me to do that vision, it's going to require me to be at least a full-time real estate investor, or many things, to be able to have the capabilities to do with that vision. Well, I think the wholesale deal would be the best. I've done some transactions, but I'm in the process. These are fix and flip transactions. They're not a typical one that Joe's currently promoting. But I do think these transactions will pencil very well. So these are just projects I'm buying at a low price. I'm renovating to maximize its potential, and then I'll put it on the market to sell on one, and on the other I'm renovating, and I'll put it on the market for rent, and I'll eventually refinance. I did subscribe to the auto marketer system, and like I said, we're training my boots on the ground. He's actually here in the mentorship today to learn more about the system, and I do plan to use that auto marketer system to automate that part of the business. And also, my boots on the ground has some unique skills, and he will help to train other people in other regions. So I have about 5 regions that I want to expand this into eventually. So my personal goals for real estate investment include obviously building enough passive income streams to replace my corporate earnings. Number one, I want to be able to take care of my family and friends. So having that passive income streams will allow me the ability to do that. In addition, when I expand to these other markets, I'll be able to incorporate some family and friends in those markets by the automation. So I plan to use the automation to help me build more strategic teams and get more people that I know, care, and love involved in the process to help us find opportunities. I have been in sales since I was age 11, and I've been in real estate investment since 2003. I enjoy both. Sales, obviously, you do to get paid, but real estate, even if I weren't paid, it's fun. I enjoy it. It gives me a spark. So I'm excited about it. I can do it all day. I obviously can't. I don't have the time, but so it's had a positive impact on my family life and my family and friends, I think. My advice is one to start, to do the research, to find a small project that you can start on of any kind. Obviously, the more that you can find and identify mentors that have done and had the experience, I would highly recommend that. Going to local real estate groups, I would definitely recommend networking. There's a lot of things online where you can join forums and hear people that have masterminds. Just get in the environment of people that are investing, and then the most important thing is to start. Obviously, you can make a lot in real estate, you can lose a lot in real estate, so be careful how you start, but the longer you stay on the sidelines, the more opportunity you're losing, and the more opportunity for appreciation you're not getting. I'll just say things that I want to add that you didn't cover is, one, I really have enjoyed getting to know Joe Crump and working with him. I've done a few different types of real estate mentorship and real estate programs, and I've invested in my education in that regard. I think I would call it substantially. And the difference I've seen with Joe Crump is, one, he's very accessible. Two, he keeps it real, and he's down to earth. He seems like a normal person that you can talk to and relate to, but he's highly successful. So it gives me something to aspire to be when I become of the success that he has, hopefully and beyond. I'll have the same nature, and be humble and be giving and be open, and not put myself on a high pedestal. So I really enjoyed that about Joe, and I think it's important that people know that it's not about trying to sell you this greater platform or this greater subscription. It's really giving you really good tools that you can use to build a business. And he's giving you that in a way that helps you to do all the other things you want to do in real estate, and he's teaching you the basic blocking techniques. So if you have the time and you put in the work, I think he's probably one of the best mentors to help you do that.